This time I'd call to order the meeting of the Clearwater City Council for April 4, 2024 to order. If you wish to address the council at any point tonight, we ask that you please complete a comment card. The comment cards are located by the clerk seated to the right of the dais. When called to speak, please hand your card to the clerk. This time we'll move to item 2 on the agenda, the invocation. Please stand for the invocation to be given tonight by Apostle Norma Fontaine Filbert from Garden of Grace Ministries, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening, everyone. Psalm 27. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of the Lord, and this one thing I do seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord and gaze upon his beauty all the days of my life, to see him in his temple. For in the day of trouble he will keep me safe in his dwelling place. He will hide me in the shelter of his sacred tent and set me high upon a rock. Our gracious Father, Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, we come before you this evening with hearts of praise and adoration, acknowledging you for who you are. You are the great I am that I am. We call you Jehovah. And God, we bless you because you are God. We thank you for your loving kindness. We thank you for your tender mercies. We thank you for your grace. And we thank you, dear God, for allowing us to be here one more time about the people's business. Lord, we thank you for the privilege you've given to us to be your hands and your feet in this earth. And God, right now we present our leaders before you. Your word has commanded us to pray for those who have the rule over us. And we pray, dear God, for your blessing upon their lives. Now, God, please bless the agenda of this meeting. We pray that all that is said and done would bring honor and glory to you. Have your way. Take the preeminence is our prayer this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Apostle Fontaine Filbert. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time I'd like to introduce those members of the council and city manager and city attorney who are joining me on the dais tonight. To my right is our city manager, Jennifer Poirier.
Good evening.
Councilmember Ryan Cotton.
Good evening.
Councilmember Lena Teixeira.
Good evening. I just want to give you a heads up. I have a recent injury that I might have to get up periodically because sitting down for extended periods of time is painful. I hope it's not too disruptive.
To my immediate left, Councilmember David Albritton.
Good evening.
To his left, Councilmember Mike Menino.
Good evening.
And our city attorney, David Margolis.
Good evening.
With that, we'll move to item 4 on the agenda. Item 4.1 are March and April service awards. There are 2 service awards tonight. At this time, I'd like to call forward Fire Chief Scott Ellers of our fire department.
We'll get a float. It's okay.
Got your hands full.
I want to congratulate Chief Ellers for 10 years with the city and as chief, and appreciate the daily work you do and the department does to keep all of our citizens here in Clearwater safe.
Thanks, sir.
Next, I'd like to call forward our Employee of the Month, Mason St. Martin from the fire department.
Recently, Rescue 49 was dispatched to a minor medical incident for back pain. The patient was assisted in the back of a Sunstar ambulance for assessment and treatment. The call, including a patient assessment, was normal and unremarkable for the situation, with the only concern being the patient's uncomfortableness with being belted on the stretcher. As the call was ending and fire medic St. Martin was exiting the rear doors of the Sunstar ambulance, out of the corner of his eye, he saw the patient pull something from his pocket and conceal it under his arm. When fire medic St. Martin questioned him about it, the patient pulled a knife on the crew members in the ambulance. A struggle ensued for control of the knife before Mason was able to take control of the knife, and the crew restrained the patient. The patient later admitted to CPD during the investigation that he was intending to stab somebody in the ambulance. If not for fire medic St. Martin's diligence and situational awareness, serious injuries were certain to have occurred to one or more of the crew. Thank you, Mason, for your superior public service and protecting those around you. Thank you for exhibiting to our citizens what it means to be a high-performing government by ensuring safe and healthy communities in Clearwater through your first-class public safety and emergency response service. Again, thank you, Mason. You make Clearwater thrive from Bay to Beach, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
We move to item 4.2 on the agenda, Fair Housing Month Proclamation. For that, I'd like to call forward Angela Emerson and Joe Farrell from the Pinellas Realtor Organization.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Travis Norton with Pinellas Realtor Organization and Angela Emerson, President of Fair Housing Consortium. On behalf of the Fair Housing Consortium, we thank you for this recognition. Our country and community have come a long way since the passage of the Civil Rights Act. It's easy to look around and believe the job is done, but we all know that's not the case. Thank you for recognizing the efforts of our organizations to make housing accessible to all. We encourage you to attend our Fair Housing Convention on April 17th. You can see all the stakeholders of our community collaborating to continue the good work that affects everyone directly or indirectly. Thank you and have a good evening.
You might all go ahead and read the proclamation too, and then I'll give you a chance to comment too. Whereas in honor of the 56th anniversary of the signing of Title VIII of the 1968 Civil Rights Act, also known as the Fair Housing Act, April is designated as Fair Housing Month to bring attention to the landmark legislation that guarantees fair housing and equal opportunity for our nation's citizens concerning the sale, rental, and financing of housing based on race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, and national origin, enabling individuals to live free and in communities open and welcoming. And whereas providing fair housing opportunities for all citizens is an essential goal of the City of Clearwater, and it joins with the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, concerned citizens and the housing industry in working to realize the dream of fair and affordable housing for all city residents. And we celebrate the passage of the Fair Housing Act because diverse communities make all Americans stronger, living in healthy, robust neighborhoods. And whereas the City of Clearwater is proud of its more than 5 decades of cooperation and work to advance the employment of housing opportunities by enforcing local, state, and federal anti-discrimination laws and constantly improving and refining its commitment to fair and affordable housing. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Rector, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, Florida, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, do hereby proclaim April 2024 to be Fair Housing Month in the City of Clearwater.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so much.
That will move to item 4.3 on the agenda, Donate Life Month Proclamation. For that, I would call up Ms. Wetzel at Lifelink. Whereas one of the most meaningful gifts that a human being can bestow upon another is the gift of life, and whereas over 103,000 men, women, and children are currently on the national waiting list for organ transplantation, of which nearly 5,100 reside in Florida, and whereas 46,630, a record number of transplants occurred in the calendar year 2023, thanks to the generosity of 23,287 deceased and living donors, of which 3,302 transplant patients and 1,343 deceased and living donors were from Florida. And whereas Lifelink of Florida, the nonprofit organization dedicated to the recovery of organs and tissue for transplantation therapy in Florida, with a mission to honor donors and save lives through organ and tissue donation. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Rector, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, Florida, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, do hereby proclaim April 2024 to be Donate Life Month in the City of Clearwater, and encourage all residents to consider giving life through organ donation and to sign up on Florida's Organ and Tissue Donor Registry by visiting www.donatelifeflorida.org, or when renewing their driver's license or state identification card.
Thank you so much, Mayor and Council. My name is Carrie Beecraft. I'm a volunteer for Lifelink of Florida. And my brother Craig saved 6 lives when he donated his organs upon his death in 1994. As the mayor so eloquently put, over 5,100 Floridians and 103,000 national citizens are waiting for organ transplants. One donor can save up to 8 lives and enrich up to 70 other lives. And as the mayor so eloquently put, you can sign up at donatelifeflorida.org or saying yes when you renew your driver's license. We appreciate the time and thank you for the proclamation.
This time we'll move to item 5 of the agenda, approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the
Second.
last meeting.
Motion and second has been made to approve the minutes of the March 18, 2024 City Council meeting as submitted in written summation by the council, by the city clerk. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Move to item 6 on the agenda, the consent agenda. I believe there are 2 items from the agenda which have been asked to be removed.
Yes, Mayor, items 6.8 and 6.12. Are there any other requests from the public or from council to remove any other items?
Are there any other requests from the public to remove items from the consent agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to,
Mr. Hill, hold on one second. We need to approve the rest of the consent.
yeah, we'll get to the items one by one.
Move to
Yeah.
approve,
You'll have an opportunity to come to the podium when we get to the items to speak on. Yeah.
move to approve agenda items 6.1 through 6.15, excluding 6.12 and 6.8. Can we do that?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
Move to approve agenda items 6.1 through 6.15, excluding 6.12 and 6.8.
Perfect.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? This time we'll then move to item 6.88 on the agenda.
Authorize purchase orders to Galls LLC of Lexington, Kentucky, and Signal 15 Inc. of Largo, Florida, for the purchase of uniforms and equipment in the cumulative annual not-to-exceed amounts of $285,000 for the initial one-year term with 3 one-year renewal options pursuant to RFP 11-24, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Mayor, Council, Major Todd Johnson, Police Department. This is a request authorization for a purchase order through Galls and Signal 15 for uniforms and equipment for the fire department and for the police department. She mentioned $285,000 annually for the one-year term with 3 one-year renewal options. We did a request for a proposal back in January. These two companies both responded to that. Staff from fire department and police department reviewed those in February and recommended a dual award. Signal 15 is a local company, and they're able to do fittings and alterations. They often have our uniform in stock. It's much more convenient than sending it or trying to get it from Kentucky. However, Galls has some equipment that the police department needs, so that's why we asked for a dual award. The funding for both of these are available in each department's operating budget. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone from the public wish to comment on this item? Assuming you've completed the card, Mr. Haluba, yeah. Assuming
Pardon?
You completed a card, I'm assuming. So.
I usually don't. Do you want me to complete a card?
If you would, we, yeah.
Ask Mr. Stiff where I live. I will do it. May I turn it in afterwards? Thank you, sir. I guess when I read this, I didn't understand, and I didn't see it in any of the notes, that this request for uniforms was part of the 45% public safety budget. If that's the case, I don't know why there needs to be any approval. However, I have, witnessed many, many times police and fire come before the council regularly to ask for expenses that one would think would be overhead expenses under the budget. About the only time, Mr. Gandy shows up is when he wants to beg for money. As far as the uniforms go, I don't understand why, given the large number of employee turnover, maybe because of Jennifer, I'm not sure. Why don't we require departing employees to surrender their uniforms? Recycling is not just for garbage only. But if this is a request to spend money out of the budget, I don't understand why it's on the agenda.
Anyone else from the public wish to comment on this agenda item? Hearing none, is there any council comments or questions on this item?
Move to approve agenda item 6.8. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Move to item 6.12 on the agenda.
Approve a guaranteed maximum price proposal from Ajax Building Company, LLC of Oldsmar for the solid waste recycling facility tipping floor in the amounts of $447,721 pursuant to request for qualifications 40-20, construction manager at risk, for continuing contracts, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Kervin Sanemi, solid waste director. So before you, item 24-34. Approve a guaranteed contract maximum price, a proposal to Ajax Company of Oldsmar, Florida, for the solid waste recycling facility tipping floor. in the amount of $447,721. This project will repair the existing recycling facility, restoring the tipping floor and mechanical ramps to working condition. The project scope also includes repair of metal structures and base concrete due to corrosion and portion of the metal structure in decay and also the concrete bases. This repair, as mentioned, will provide staff a functioning facility to do their job safely. Any questions?
Thank you. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this item?
I'm Mr. Haluba. I am opposed to any spending related to, the fallacy of recycling in the city of Clearwater. $447 basically for a concrete slab replacement, especially since recycling has been proven not to work, especially here in Clearwater. Doesn't work in any way, shape, or form. It's not financially viable. It doesn't do the environment any good. However, that's not what a lot of people would want, you all on the dais to believe. They want to go, save the environment, save the world. It's been very well documented that the recycling process creates methane gas. The trucks carrying all this refuse all over the place emit tons of carbon dioxide. So in fact, recycling is bad for the environment. It's not only a foolish thing financially, but requiring citizens, to pay for something that's not economically viable, or all of their utilities get shut off, is a burden that Clearwater citizens should not have to bear. It makes much more sense, given it's not financially viable, given it doesn't do the environment any good, to just shut it down and don't spend this money for a concrete slab that we don't need.
Anyone else from the public wish to comment on this agenda item? Hearing none, other comments or questions from the council?
Mr. Mayor, move to approve agenda item 6.12.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Move to item 7 on the agenda, 7.1.
Declare surplus for conveyance to Community Service Foundation, Inc., certain real property located at 0 Lee Street for the purpose of development of affordable housing, approve the real property transfer agreement between the city and CSF, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same together with all instruments required to effect closing.
Good evening, Denise Anderson, Economic Development and Housing. As discussed on Monday, the request for surplus of the subject property is to donate the parcel for development by Community Service Foundation for the restricted land use of an affordable rental unit. City Charter provides council the authority to donate parcels or property assemblages up to 5 acres in size for affordable housing. The property is located in the North Greenwood CRA area and is approximately 0.1 acres in size, and according to Pinellas County Property Appraiser, its just market value is $85,364. In accordance with City Charter and CRA statute, the city issued a 30-day notice of disposition and solicitation for sealed proposals on January 17th, 2024. We received 2 responses by the February 16th due date, with only Community Service Foundation providing the information necessary to evaluate its proposal. Upon approval, CSF plans to develop a 750-square-foot, two-bedroom, one-bath home to be made available to a U.S. military veteran in need of housing. Construction of the home will be completed within 6 months of the date of acquisition, and acquisition will occur when permit is first pulled. Be happy to take any questions.
Questions for staff? Thank you. I don't believe there are any. Okay. Is there any presentation by the applicant or representative of the applicant on this? No? At this time, we invite the public for any comments they have in support or opposition of the agenda item. Seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve item 7.1.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Unanimous. Move to item 8.1 on the agenda.
Mayor, 8.1 is going to be the second reading of ordinance number 9755-24. Under Florida law, all ordinances must be read out loud twice, not the entire ordinance, but certainly read by title, so I'll proceed to do that now. Ordinance number 9755-24, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the operating budget for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024, to reflect increases and decreases in revenues and expenditures for the General Fund, Special Development Fund, Special Program Fund, Water and Sewer Fund, Stormwater Fund, Solid Waste and Recycling Fund, Gas Fund, Air Park Fund, Marine Fund, Clearwater Harbor Marina Fund, Parking Fund, Administrative Services Fund, General Services Fund, Garage Fund, and Central Insurance Fund, as provided herein, providing an effective date.
Can we take public comment on this? Yeah. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this agenda item? Seeing none, any questions of council? Okay.
Move to approve agenda item 8.1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Item 8.2.
Mayor, item 8.2 is a companion item to 8.1. It does, however, have a separate ordinance, so I'll proceed to read that by title. Ordinance number 9756-24, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the capital improvement budget for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024, to reflect an increase of $6,351,013, providing an effective date.
Anyone from the public wish to comment on this agenda item? Seeing none, any questions of council or comments of council? Entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve agenda item 8.2.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Move to item number 9 on the agenda. Citizens to be heard on items not on the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, Council, welcome to the new council member. I'm Bill Johnson, President of the Clearwater Neighborhoods Coalitions, and I'd like to first thank you for the great Neighborhoods Day. In addition to my neighborhood, I was invited to 3 other neighborhoods. This year, there were more city staff visiting, bringing more vehicles and neat technology. It was great to be able to discuss important issues one-on-one with our city leaders in our neighborhoods. To understand some of the issues facing our city, and I had a great conversation with the city manager in my neighborhood about a problem I didn't even know existed. And I think there's perhaps something that I can do to help mitigate that problem. I was impressed Mayor Richter, that you were at the first pancake breakfast in Countryside at the beginning of the day, and you were still going at 8 p.m. at Oak Acres when I left to go home. And I don't imagine you took the break in the middle of the day like I did. So thank you. Secondly, I want to thank Assistant City Manager Dan Slaughter for participating in the Clearwater Neighborhoods Coalition meeting on Monday. He updated us on Clearwater's urban tree canopy sustainability program, something of great interest to our organization. I can't say we were encouraged by the report on Duke Energy's program to totally remove trees near power lines. And this morning, I observed that Duke was replacing power poles along Myrtle Avenue. About 20 years ago, Clearwater rebuilt Myrtle Avenue, and all those poles had to be reconstructed at that time. At the time, I wished Mr. Horn had brought the option of undergrounding for the council's consideration at that time. Undergrounding is becoming more cost-effective option. Right now, the city is perhaps going to have to pay to underground some of those same wires along Myrtle as part of the City Hall project. I hope you talk to the legislature about encouraging more undergrounding like the city of Winter Park has done. Wires belong underground in major cities, and I consider Clearwater to be a major city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zoom on that. Thank you. I stood before you guys, some of you at least, congratulations on your political victories, a month ago to show you some pictures of trees. And thankfully, some in the audience listened to mine and my colleagues' voices. One was Tampa Bay reporter Tracy McManus, who released a great piece on April 2nd about the destruction of trees in our urban forest. So the word is getting out. Thank you, Tracy. That said, I'd like to implore the council and the citizens of Clearwater to do more. While asking nicely can go a long way, it often falls flat until people's feet are held to the fire. I think there are a few more things the council can do, and I will list 4 in particular. Elevate the issue of this issue of Duke tree removal as a recurring agenda item, and ask Duke representatives to attend and report at the meetings. Demand that Duke provide a report on the number of trees already cut down, including species, age, and size, and location. Also request a plan for the remaining trees to be removed with justifications. Firmly request, and number 3, firmly request that Duke align with the Clearwater Tree Inventory Program so as not to conflict with the city's priorities in that arena. Currently, there is no oversight or understanding of how Duke's activities interact or undermine that program. Has the inventory been updated to reflect the trees Duke has removed? By whom? Demand that Duke remove stumps when it does become 100% necessary to remove a tree. They're not doing so, and the community is suffering for it. This is at Duke's discretion. They have demonstrated that they can save trees if they want to. It's very disheartening to have recently won a battle over trees only to have to fight a new one all over again. We need to encourage Duke to return to trimming whenever possible versus complete removals they have been doing most recently. Thanks for your time. I'll now use the remainder of my time to show some additional photos of trees removed from the community in addition to the ones we have yet to lose. So these ones here are taken on Betty Lane. That actually right there is a video of a beautiful courtyard in front of Everybody's Tabernacle on North Betty Lane. All the trees in that entire courtyard are slated for removal. They have orange X's on them. It's a little dark, hard to see, but you get you get the idea that there's a lot of nice shade there. It would be a real shame to lose those trees. There's a couple more in that courtyard, just just that one area. You saw a few before. These are all trees that are slated with the red, with the orange X on them. If anyone's driven down North Betty Lane, it's probably one of the most, kind of picturesque boulevards in Clearwater. That's my little dog there. He's also very passionate about trees. So, yeah, Betty is very beautiful, and we just want to preserve these trees. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I am Tony Tello from 520, 522, and 528 Cleveland Street on the 500 block. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to all new council members. I heard it's a very tough political battle. Congratulations to all of you guys. Secondly, I would like to say thank you for taking my concerns in consideration and having a meeting this Monday with the CRA. I really do appreciate it. This brings me to my main point of tonight. I'm pretty well trenched in the town, and rumors and information spreads quickly in our small community. And I was informed that the 500 block across from me was recently purchased, as well as the city building. I want to highlight the importance that it is to support local business that are not associated with one particular group, and making sure that the community is diverse and grows out organically and truly positively. I saw a couple of you guys at my restaurant and my piano bar, and I believe I saw you there. Thank you for being a part of the community and its growth. But I think it's very important, and now with that new information, to support local entrepreneurs that make this country great. That's what that flag behind you was founded on. Entrepreneurs, people who believe in the American dream. And me being a son of a migrant, that has not died in me. And I will be here constantly fighting for that, for what I believe the flag stands for. And we want more things like that, not oligopolies or monopolies. We need entrepreneurs. I say that in the most humble way. Thank you guys for your time.
Mr. Bunker, thank you for filling out the comment card. We obviously know you, but I do want to be consistent in the way we apply the rules. So I appreciate you doing that.
Certainly. I'm Mark Bunker, and I promise not to give anyone the finger. I didn't expect to be back here so soon, but after reading about the most recent Scientology property purchases, it seems like just as I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Well, this is truly devastating news. The city was on track to develop downtown despite Scientology, and this just makes it more difficult. It doesn't help that the seller of the properties, Daniels, blamed all the problems downtown on the city, without once mentioning that the real core problem is Scientology's presence down here and their ongoing efforts to derail any progress that the city makes. Now, I'm assuming that this is going to kill the condo project that Daniels and a St. Pete developer were planning to build 1 block away from here. If so, that is tragic. It does open up more potential, of course, for that L. Ron Hubbard Museum, just exactly what we need. If Scientology or Scientologists do something constructive with these properties and allow businesses to thrive, I'd be okay with that. I'm not sure the general public would flock to Hubbardville, but it would be better than a bunch of empty buildings. They could turn the area into a manufacturing base and create jobs, building e-meters, for example. But why pay people when they have all the slave labor they need? One former member told me how he was building e-meters at the age of 12 when he should have been in school. Back in 2017, David Miscavige told Bill Horn that they had purchased the last property they needed to complete their campus. And at the very same time, Miscavige had started the secret purchases of over $100 million worth of properties that was uncovered by Tracy McManus at the Tampa Bay Times. Former Mayor Gabe Casares used to say sparkling Clearwater is not for sale at any price, but he couldn't have imagined that Scientology would wind up with a $3 billion amount in the bank after bringing the IRS to its knees. Now, more than ever, deciding to build a new city hall was the right move because as of today, with the purchase of the tower where City Hall is now located, Scientology is essentially the city's landlord. And what a message that sends. And frankly, I don't have to give anyone the finger because David Miscavige is doing that right now. He can't be trusted. He shouldn't be the city's partner. And treating Scientology just like any other entity is a mistake. Thank you.
Good evening, Tricia Kirby, 1111 Spencer Avenue. Thank you so much for coming to our neighborhood party. I don't mean to brag, but ours is the best one. But it was late at night, and I really appreciate you going there. And you all are welcome next year if you want to join us. We're the late night party with the band. Okay, so I'm here about the trees. You'll probably see me a lot on this subject. I got a text message after Tracy wrote that article, and it was, I don't want to name names here, but this is someone in city government. They don't want to go public on this, but I'm friends with a lot of people, and this one is high up. This person said to me, hey, I just saw the article on the Tampa Bay Times about the trees. It doesn't seem like local city governments are going to be able to do anything about this problem. My neighborhood is literally scheduled to have tree removal, like my very street. I'm trying to warn all the neighbors, but they almost don't seem like they believe me. They're like, there's no way they're taking down this 80-year-old tree. There's no way that they can take down this tall of a tree, or this big of a tree, or this oak tree, this live oak tree. I'm like, y'all are going to be in for a very sad surprise when you come home one day. And they're trying to warn their neighbors and get them on board to do something, to speak up about it, but they can't come out publicly about it because of within the city climate, nobody wants to say anything, which actually that's a whole other subject. Your employees are scared of you guys. They don't want to give you suggestions. They don't want to give you ideas. That's a climate thing. I hear that over and over again from city employees because I have a lot of friends in this city, and I would encourage you, being a new leadership, to switch that around because they bring good ideas. You want those ideas. You want that. But as far as the trees go, I will echo again what Lucas was saying. Transparency. We need to know how many trees they have already cut down. We need to know how many trees in the location that they plan to cut down. When I looked at the map, I don't want to pull it up here, but on Duke's website, you can look at a map and there's sort of these gigantic areas where they might be cutting down trees. They're everywhere. If you drive up CR1, up Keene, County Road 1, you'll see orange X's on trees all over the place. You drive down Bel Air Road, you'll see orange X's all over the place. You drive on Curlew, you see orange X's all over the place. This is a lot of trees, and those are just the ones along the roadways. The people where it's really going to hurt the most is in the neighborhoods. I promise you, if it was your oak tree in your yard, I bet you'd be able to save that tree. I bet you'd be really pushing it. But it could be hundreds, it could be thousands of trees. It's important. Giving out trees on the Arbor Day, these little bitty things that are going to take 30 years to achieve any kind of growth that's going to make a difference, isn't the same as leaving a tree that has a 400-year lifespan, like a live oak, or 500 years, cutting that one down in its basically prime, and it's only 100 years old. It's not a good thing. Please work with other cities too. Talk with the other cities within Pinellas County, the mayors, the city councils, the county commission, and work together for a solution, please.
Any other citizens to be heard on items not on the agenda?
Once again, I'm Mr. Haluba. And generally speaking, I'm pretty happy with the new faces on the Diaz. I'm hoping all of you will follow Mr. Rector's lead and be available to meet with anyone. And I hope that continues. It is, a recurring theme when I talk to people And when I say people, I mean city employees. It can be at Crest Lake Park, it can be the garbage man, it can be whoever. There is a culture of silence among Clearwater city employees. It's just the way it is. They feel intimidated to say anything about anybody or anything going on with the city of Clearwater. I think that's something that needs to somehow be addressed. And Mr. Rector, you've agreed to meet with me. We've met before. I tried to meet with Ms. Poirier through her secretary and was told that that would be inappropriate. So perhaps that culture of silence comes from Ms. Poirier. Now on to something a little bit different. At Drew Street, on either side of Baker, stand two concrete arches. They've been there since 1925, I'm told. And due to city neglect, they're in need of repair presently. They're in pretty sad shape. I have been told the city wants to tear these historic arches down because it's too expensive to repair or replace them. I don't agree. We all just sat here and watched you all spend millions of dollars on things that the average citizen, will never see. And these are two historic structures that, given all the money we've seen spent here tonight, I don't think is a big deal. The cost to repair and restore them is about $18,000. Citizens have started a GoFundMe page, and that's the information. And those structures should be repaired or replaced.
Any other citizens to be heard on items not on the agenda?
Good evening, Mayor, new council members, old council members, city manager, and city attorney. My name is Patrick Raftery. I'm a 45-year resident of Clearwater, and I reside in the countryside area. I want to speak somewhat in generalities tonight, if I could, rather than any specific issues that might be coming up or have already been brought up tonight. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the new members of the council on their election. Although it was controversial and that campaign was hard, I can assure you making decisions and governing will be harder. You've seen some of that controversy tonight. I'd like to suggest to each of you, particularly the new council members, that you represent all of us in Clearwater. Of course, the people that voted for you, but the people that didn't vote for you, or the people that did not vote at all. When you make a decision, you are speaking for all of us in Clearwater. You were elected to make decisions. Whether they are the right decision or not will be left up to the judgment of the residents, but you will have to make those decisions. I'm going to ask you to consider all of us as you make those decisions, whether it be the current decision on City Hall, the current decision on Safe Street, Drew Street, or any other issue that's been decided by previous council. They made decisions at that time, and let us hope that they proceed, or if they don't proceed for very good reasons that the residents will understand. Finally, I'd like to address something else that's of great concern to myself as well as many residents, and that is the downtown development. Coachman Park and the Sound are done. A tremendous credit to the previous council and the residents that voted for that referendum, and we've seen it now completed. The D'Annunzio and Gotham projects are still a work in progress. No shovel has hit the ground yet, and there's been a little bit of controversy with them. There probably will be more controversy when it comes, but that is, in my opinion, the second leg of the development of Clearwater. Downtown remains a huge challenge. You heard from Mr. Bunker tonight about an additional element of that challenge that's just been recently added. The Downtown Development Board has been reconstituted by the council. 5 of you will be on that group, and you will now be driving initiatives to develop the downtown. So in my opinion, Coachman Park and the Sound are done. D'Annunzio and Gotham are works in progress that may still have challenges to them. But most importantly, the downtown area is the most challenging issue to revitalize in Clearwater. And whether we will be successful or not remains to be seen. It will be in your hands. I wish you well with those decisions. Thank you very much.
Any other citizens to be heard on items not on the agenda?
Can I turn in my card after? Thank you. Good evening. My name's Jared Leone. You may remember me from the last 6 months. I had the honor and privilege to run in our city's most recent election with some of you who are seated now. The outcome was not what I intended. However, I enjoyed the experience and have developed stronger bonds and ties with the community. I've heard from residents and will continue to work and ensure their voices are heard as well. And I'm still involved in our community as chairman of our city's Environmental Advisory Board. I'll be back later in the year to give a presentation to you all about our accomplishments of the year, as well as president of the Spring Branch Neighborhood Association, where we will be breaking ground in the next year on improvements to State Street Park that will enhance the natural elements to it. We had a great Neighborhoods Day party. Thank you, Mike, for coming out and seeing the park. And I hope and look forward to working with this council as I have with previous councils over the last decade. Congratulations, and thank you all for serving.
Any other citizens to be heard on items not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move to item 10.1.
North Beach update.
Evening, Mayor, council members, Marcus Williamson, Public Works Director. Want to give an update on where we are with a lot of the North Beach. So we've been continuing in a bunch of the cleaning and maintenance that's out there. We're continuing as we're going through finding concrete and a lot of pool debris and all that's in the pipes. As we mentioned before, it's a lot more work for us to try to get some of that out than the contractors preventing it from going down. So we're going to continue trying to work with the contractors that are out there. Anything the residents can do to kind of help discourage people from putting stuff down in the storm system helps us a lot. But again, we'll work on that as well as some enforcement tools we'll be bringing through, including trying to add some inspectors to get out and actually address some of these. In addition to that, we have been working with the tidal valve manufacturer that's out there. They've come out and inspected a bunch of our tidal valves. They've identified some of the problems with those tidal valves, so we're working with the contractor now. That contractor's engaged with the tidal valve manufacturer, just trying to work through what are some of those corrective actions for that, and then we'll be waiting for what their plan is to go back in and fix some of those. We've got the temporary pumps out there. We're continuing to refine some of that usage. We're learning more about how the system is functioning from that as we pump it, and kind of watching where we're seeing some of the worst ponding and flows that are out there. We've been working with the engineer for the permanent lift stations, so working on developing that work order. We should be bringing that one to council here in the next couple of months, as well as starting to put together what we want to see for that permanent stormwater implementation RFP that's out there. So with that, I'll hold for any questions.
Any questions from the council? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work. It's time to move to item number 11 on the agenda, city attorney reports.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Okay. Move to item 12 on the agenda, closing comments by council members.
I'll start us off. I just want to say thank you. I didn't speak during the work session, but I am proud to have been elected and to be able to lead, as many people have alluded to, not just those people that have voted for me, but for the whole of the Clearwater, because I genuinely believe in the city. As most of you know, on the campaign trail, second generation Clearwater Floridian. My kids are fifth generation residents, so the city means a lot to me, and I look forward to making sure it goes in the right direction for everyone. So thank you again, and look forward to the next 4 years.
So we all went to the Neighborhoods Day, and I just want to make it clear that the staff did an incredible job in every aspect. But one of the things that I found was challenging was there were so many neighborhoods, and how do you divide the city so that all of us had physical presence in and at least you had one of us in there in your events. And so we divided the city equally amongst ourselves, and I enjoyed myself immensely. I want to thank Samantha Millay and Major Haley. They were my companions, and they added to my day. And one of my favorite parts were the first few seconds when I walk up. Each neighborhood has such a specific vibe, and I enjoyed that. Their own identity, and I really enjoyed talking to everyone. So that was a highlight for me. The second thing is, and I'm bringing this up because of Mr. Tony Tello. He brought this to mind. A couple of weeks ago, right after a concert, I was walking on my way there, and two young ladies came out of an Uber, and their conversation was as follows: where do you want to eat? Wherever it's available, where the wait is the least amount of time. That is something I've never heard before this year, before the Sound, Baycare Sound, and Coachman Park. I was used to hearing that about other cities, not our own. And so listening to Tony, I resonate with him. I am also the daughter of an immigrant. And I saw my parents with elementary school education work very hard and give me a great life. And so when I think of downtown, and I think of the Sound, and I think of Coachman Park, we are on the right path. We are not where we're supposed to be, but we will. And just as that spirit and passion that I saw in Tony and my parents, I am up for the challenge. And I want you all there with me and help me. We will succeed. Oh, and last but not least, Jennifer. She's here for a year, a big, big year. And we are so grateful in the abilities that you bring to face everything with such class and professionalism. And I personally am very grateful that you took this challenge. Thank you so much. Happy anniversary.
Councilmember Albritton.
Well, I'd like to welcome our two new council members, Cotton and Menino, and Mayor Rector. We feel that we have a very good team to move things forward in Clearwater. And with that said, I'd like to comment on an article that came out, unfortunately, Monday when we were swearing everybody in, on the Daniel Ajekis article referring to Clearwater, negative comments about Clearwater's massive government instability. And boy, do I disagree with that. You know, we've done more in 4 years than we've had in a couple of decades here in Clearwater. We haven't missed a beat. Okay, we had a city manager we had to replace, and luckily we had Ms. Foyer waiting because she took over immediately and really turned things around. We had a mayor that got up and left. We didn't miss a beat that night. If you remember that night, we kept that meeting, we went on and we took care of all the business in that meeting, and we got a new mayor and carried things on. And, you know, I'm proud to say that none of the council members up here quit for the Form 6 that was mandated by the state, where all the communities around us, a lot of them quit, and, you know, that's instability. we've been very stable here with this government, and I can say we've moved things along, and I'm so happy with the way things have gone the last couple of years. You know, my first term, COVID right in the middle of it, things kind of floundered. We jumped back in it and got things done, and I'm really excited that we're going to move things forward from this date forward. With that said, I wanted to just do a kind of a PSDA update because this was near and dear to my heart. I'm the representative on PSTA on this, the PSTA board, and a couple of years ago went to Washington to secure a $20 million grant from the federal government for our new intermodal center. We had tried 12 times. Pinellas County never got a raise grant. Hillsborough did, some of our counties around us always did, but we were successful in getting the raise grant. So I'm going to read you kind of a little perspective on that. Decades-long initiative to build a modern multimodal transit center is moving forward as the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority recently traded properties with the city of Clearwater. PSTA's board celebrated the news during the March 27 project update. The $44.5 million Clearwater Intermodal Transit Center will accommodate 16 routes, double the Park Street Terminal's capacity, and feature a solar panel array, electric bus charging stations, passenger rail, and autonomous vehicle connectivity and retail space. The new transit center will receive leadership in energy and environmental design. That's the LEED certification for meeting sustainable design, construction, and operation standards, and will also exceed the ADA regulations. Also, more cyclists will utilize the terminal as it abuts the Pinellas Trail. PSTA will build an enhanced covered bike storage facility. PSTA officials are also exploring new transportation options, including an express service between Clearwater and Tampa International Airport. The adjacent CSX railroad tracks could accommodate a future passenger rail. PSDA will recommend a design firm in the coming weeks. Project officials will request additional funding later this year and expects construction to commence in the summer of 2025. A celebration of the new multimodal transit center will be held at 10 a.m. April 15th at the site located on Myrtle Avenue and Court Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Albritton. Councilmember Menino?
Absolutely, thank you so much. Monday swear-in, we didn't get much time to do thank you, so I just wanted to take a quick minute or 27 and thank so many. No, I'll be quick, I promise. Quick thank you to my wife, Suzanne. Thank you so much for her endless support and love. Thank you to our family and friends that worked tirelessly with us, poured their hearts and souls into our campaign. Some of us are here with us this evening. Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. You're absolutely appreciated. Thank you to staff. You're absolutely appreciated, from sitting up here to offices to sitting here, every single one of you. The work you do on a daily basis to make our city bright and beautiful is greatly appreciated, and I humbly say thank you from the bottom of my heart. To my colleagues here, looking forward to working with you. Thank you for the leadership that you provide and the passion in the city that you do on a daily basis for the citizens. You are absolutely appreciated. I look forward to working alongside of you each and every day for the next 4 years and hopefully beyond. And last but not least, but most importantly, thank you to the residents of Clearwater. Thank you for the ones that voted for me. I greatly appreciate your support and your trust, your faith that you put in me to be your elected representative on City Council. Those that did not vote for me, I thank you for participating in the election process and being a part of the campaign cycle, and I vow to work tirelessly and hard to earn that trust from you, and I thank you for the opportunity to serve you. Thank you.
So I want to congratulate our city manager, Poirier, on her 1-year anniversary today of being appointed as city manager, and apologize to her because we did have 10.1 was North Beach update, but I should have given you an opportunity to comment or give a report on anything else that you needed to report at that time and passed along the agenda. So if you'd like to to add anything at this time, I invite you to do that.
Thank you, sir. The only thing I was going to add is the same thing that's already been said, is to thank the staff. There was incredible participation in Neighborhoods Day, and it was evident that they wanted to be there. I think the staff enjoyed it just as much as the neighborhoods did that invited them to come out to those parties, and I think that shows the type of environment that we do have here, and that our employees care about the neighborhoods in our city just as much as we do. So I want to thank the staff, and thank you all for participating. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, with that, I just want to, I gave some thanks the other day and told about, how I want to, work with the entire community's team members to make Clearwater better. And Monday was a phenomenal day for me for many reasons, not to just be sworn in mayor of a city that I love dearly, but to have my son Trevor here to enjoy that with me, to enjoy that experience, family experience, and then he got off work that night so we could go attend the Lightning game. And to just celebrate the day with my son was very important to me, because I said during the campaign and it's one of the major reasons I ran was for him and for your children and your grandchildren that want to continue to live in this community long after I'm gone, and the things that we can do together to make this city better and shine brighter than ever together are exciting to me. But that's the kind of work that I want to do as mayor. And I know from my conversations with the other 4 council members, that's what we all want to do. We want to do things that will make this city better for generations to come. And so, I now as mayor get an opportunity to get interviewed a lot. And you've seen my quotes and comments in different publications just the last 2 or 3 days. But, it's not breaking news, and I told a reporter this today, that downtown Clearwater has struggled. That's nothing new. We all know that. It's been the talk of the community throughout the campaign, and so that's not breaking news. I did say to a couple of reporters today that I don't think it's fair to judge the success of Coachman Park and the Sound just yet. We never expected that it would be robust from the beginning and full of, completely full of activity. And Councilmember Teixeira and Councilmember Albritton pointed out the many successes we've had down there already. But that impact is just getting started. And the variety of activities we will be bringing there are just going to make the impact more and more for not just downtown Clearwater, but for all of Clearwater. I know many in Clearwater, I can tell you from walking different neighborhoods and knocking on doors where a large dog came to greet me. As soon as I knocked on the door, there were a lot of dogs in Clearwater, a lot of dog owners in Clearwater. So here, the weekend after this, they're having the Purina Pro Plan Incredible Dog Challenge. You've probably seen it on television, ESPN. Well, the Eastern Regional is coming to Coachman Park. That's a unique, I don't believe we've ever had that kind of event here before, but that's the kind of thing that is yet to come to activate that park and to bring new and different and diverse populations down there. And so I shared with the media, and I'll share it with you here tonight, let's not judge the success of Coachman Park just yet. Let's continue to activate it with new and exciting things. And then as we continue to do more and more work downtown, I think you're going to see downtown Clearwater continue to improve as it has. But Neighborhoods Day taught me a lot of things. One thing I was impressed with on Neighborhoods Day is throughout the city, the level of optimism and energy and people interested in working together to make our city better. I have never in my 10 years here seen it as high as it was on Neighborhoods Day. Every part of the community, people were really excited about Clearwater, this council, and our team, and our city staff. And many times they were very impressed that a lot of our 1,800 city employees were out there in the community on Neighborhoods Day, and that was very important to them too. But this momentum that we've gathered is just very important. But the other thing I learned by being out there in the neighborhoods of Neighborhoods Day is we want to make downtown Clearwater better. but we want to make the entire city better. There's more to Clearwater than just downtown Clearwater. There are lots of parts of Clearwater that we're going to work on as a team to make better. And that was very clear to me on Neighborhoods Day, that we are a large city, a diverse city, and there are a lot of areas where we can work together to get better. So with that, I want to thank you for attending tonight and helping me get through my first official council meeting as mayor. I appreciate everyone's, cooperating with the comment cards and helping us keep things on schedule and running an efficient meeting. And with that, I will adjourn this council meeting.